This is a completely new style. Now we've got the other more common style in our living room now that you've seen for years on the net, and they look fine, totally fine, but this is something completely different, completely new. I see some really welcome features right away. Number one, sloped armrests. That is awesome. When you recline, that slight slope at the rear makes things so much more comfortable. I love the huge, super wide, full width headrest instead of just, 75% with bolsters up the side. There's no point in that, in my opinion. We've got full lumbar. We still have the nice looking modern stitching and quilting pattern. 2 accessory ports, 2 removable inserts for both the cup holders, 2 armrests. They are spring loaded, and inside we have free accessories that are included with every seat. Let's check them out. Now bear in mind, what I'm going to show you is almost always an optional extra with pretty much every other brand and seat out there, to the tune of a couple $100, but not with this. You get your tray table, removable out of the accessory port, pops right in, and a tablet holder. Very cool, very relevant in today's age, especially since we also have USB-C also included in the electronics package. Very cool. And I confirmed that they are 10 watts, so you do have better charging than the typical 5 that you find on pretty much everything else. Now, speaking of the controls, they are pretty standard. We've got a button here for not only the blue LED lights on the cup holders, but also down below. And like I said, you can just easily unplug these. That's what I do in all of my other ones, because I never want these on. They look cool in pictures, they look cool in a video of a room or something, but for actual use, as soon as you recline this thing and that light shines forward onto your screen or your walls or your floor, bad idea just for marketing, but very, very easily defeatable. So that button there controls both of those at the same time. And then we have just a faint blue light here in the USB port, but when you're sitting in the chair, you can barely notice it. I mean, it's not bright at all, so it's not gonna distract you. Got your standard buttons here. This one handles your reclining. The feet will come up first. Once that's up, the back starts to go back, and this is a way back model. They advertise this as a zero gravity seat, and they are not joking. This goes back with the feet way up. That is far more of a V shape than any other seats out there. Normally the most you'll get is a flat level footrest, but this one can go all the way back for basically sleeping. Very comfy. And then your other button here does the headrest, which is one huge unit, and it's very generous. No home button, but that's pretty typical of the standard two-way designs. This does not have power lumbar, but I doubt many people are going to need it. And to wrap up this feature overview, there are just 2 things that are notably different than many of the other seats out there that I want to mention. It's going to be a plus to some, con to the others. When you typically put a seat back into the upright position, it will fully restore whatever is available. The recline, the headrest, lumbar, if it has it, it'll all reset, or it may have a home button. These are always completely separate. So when you do go to the upright position, wrong button, it does not affect the headrest. So everything went back to normal with the feet and the back, but the headrest you have to do separately, and vice versa. So just note that. Now that's gonna be a plus to those that like it in a certain position and hate that it changes every time. Con if you don't. So not a big deal, or it might be a big deal. It's also not a wall hugger. That's the drawback or benefit to it being a zero gravity seat. And able to get that kind of extreme recline, it needs to be balanced differently. If it was a wall hugger unit, it would be keeping it within a couple inches of its upright clearance, but then your center of gravity would be way off and you couldn't get that type of recline. So if you're looking for something that is much more conducive to a total reclined experience, note that you're not going to be looking for a wall hugger. But this one certainly fits the bill in here for sure.